Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we shall go straight to those Bitcoin charts. Yes, Bitcoin on the 4 hour yesterday, we popped back above our lower level, our last line in the sand level of, well, it was resistance because we were below it, but basically our last level of support. You can see we traded below, we held below, we didn't get that continuation to the downside, so the inevitable happened was the bulls were going to step in, the shorts were going to have to cover, and they got squeezed back up. So yeah, as you can see, pretty much got almost to that underside of the next level of resistance, but as you can see, stalled out there and currently attempting to put in a bull flag of sorts. Price action trading towards the top end of this smaller range we've got going on here, but obviously things are looking a lot better because this was obviously looking pretty diabolical. We are getting towards our important downward sloping trend line here, and also our horizontal here. So whilst this is obviously very good to see this price action, this would be a very good place for price to get rejected, come back down, take out this $30,000 level and dump down to 27,000. So we just got to bear that in mind as a definitely a more than a 0% possibility. But that is not necessarily what is going to happen. I mean, this kind of would, if we did break out the top and shoot on upwards, would look like a slingshot reversal. We slung shot below our level of support and also the downward sloping trend line here, and then did obviously then manage to make our way above, assuming that is what we do. So that will be pretty good. We are not very far away from obviously closing for our candles above, basically around 33,500. We're only talking a measly $1,500. And then yeah, things would start to look pretty good for basically a test of around the 36k, and we would potentially have the momentum to ultimately break through that, albeit with maybe some sideways consolidation or even a back test of this old resistance as new support. So things definitely looking more positive here. There are a few other positives we are going to look at as well that are pretty much driving this on. Obviously we had that B word conference with obviously those Bitcoin fanboys and girls, so they were obviously going to be hype the market up a bit. But yeah, Ethereum Satoshi pairing is one of the first things that's looking good. Obviously you can see we are getting back above this pretty important resistance level we drew in. So if this does continue onwards and upwards here, which it may very well do, does look like we potentially put in a bottom here in the medium term, and if we can push onwards and upwards, potentially break wherever this downward sloping trend line would come in, and then continue on upwards. Obviously this is good because just because it's an indication of health in the crypto market if the high riskier plays are rallying. So we've got that as a good sign. We've got, well, the Bitcoin dominance at the moment is going to try and take out this horizontal level, but if it does do that, then it will potentially be looking good. The main thing is obviously we have this this is the S&P futures, as you can see. It was just a pullback, bro, by the dip, as like yeah, basically, as all you have to do in this market is just buy. It work until it doesn't. We are in that crack up boom. But yeah, I mean, look at this, guys. We only need to get through this little area here. Then we are again blue skies breakout, and no doubt, crypto, at least Bitcoin, at least isn't gonna capitulate through $30,000 whilst we've got stock markets on their all-time highs and beyond. Nasdaq as well, clearly looking very good here as well. I mean, we drew the breakout. We basically had a ascending wedge, but yeah, broke out to the top. So obviously looking good there. The 10-year yield as well, having a little bit of a bounce, but as you can see, far from breaking the downward sloping trend line. But if this can get back into this range here, then I think we will be in full risk on bull mode. DXY also, I mean, it is basically, it's there or thereabouts. We are pretty much an important level. You can kind of see we've got a slight trend line in here that we are basically probably just below now. You can see we've got a horizontal we could draw in here, which we are there or thereabouts. So obviously this is a major area for us to get through. To even just to get to it, just break a few shorter term levels. That could then obviously reverse us and get us going to the downside. So obviously we have this potentially going for us if we do make more of a move down, which I expect we will if we do carry on with all the same that is going on at the moment. Finally, Ethereum, the Ethereum dirty fiat pairing. Yeah, as you can see, it just needs to get back above this horizontal area here to get back into the zone of relative safety and confidence. We can try to trade sideways, try and trade back up towards the 3K level, ultimately break that and go onwards and upwards to bigger and better things. But yeah, first and foremost, we needed to hold this important level here. We need to get back above this one here, and then yeah, then pretty much the fun times can pretty much begin. We'll probably need to draw in another horizontal just for these highs here. Just we've got to take this out as level out as well. But realistically, it is pretty much the midpoint of this wider range, and we know the midpoints are important. Just to bring things back into a little bit of perspective, this is our wider range that we are looking at. We've got obviously the top half, the bottom half, the lower half of the lower half, and the top half of the lower half. So we've got 4 segments, and we are not even back above. We're not even out of the lower of the four segments. So just put this in a bit of perspective, and we have this downward sloping trend line intact. Also, as well as obviously that resistance marking the end of the lower quarter. So we are so far away from being out of the woods yet, being out of the Cafe woods yet. So we need to basically get back above at least here, so at least we can say we're not in the lower quartile, and then start making moves to get back into the top half. I do obviously think stock markets are going to be a helping hand. I do think that is going to coincide with basically rising 10-year bond yields, which should indicate basically risk on, and should also coincide with hopefully DXY easing off as well. So if all that does happen, I do think we could regain our confidence in crypto. We could shrug off all that GBTC stuff. And yeah, and then trying to basically target the top of the range and above and beyond. Stochastics though, I think these ultimately at some point are going to start helping us. Here is the 4 hour, did its one job. Held us above that $30,000 level, so that was obviously good to see. 10 hour will be turning up and moving slightly upwards now if it decides to load. Yeah, 10 hours turned up. Yeah, and we're moving quite nicely upwards here, actually into the bullish zone, so that we've got that upward momentum now, because now we need to blast our way through 33,500 and on the way to 36,000. 12 hour looking good, on the way up, got plenty of room to run here. Daily is going to turn back up as well, obviously got the whole way to run. Potentially got a trend line here to come and meet, but that will obviously coincide with a lot higher price if we get up to here for Bitcoin itself. 2-day not turned back up yet, but it obviously has the potential to. Same with 3-day not turn back up, potential to. 5-day not turn back up, but potential to. Weekly still pointing downwards, but we have got the etchings of a if we do get back above this 33, start to test this, we are going to turn some longer time frame very beaten up stochastics round, and I think at the very least it gives us a test at the top of the range. Maybe we get a consolidation, a pullback, and then ultimately if that weekly is turning back up and onwards and upwards in the stochastic, I do think that we at the very least at that point at the very least get a nice test into the bull trap area of basically anywhere around here, really. Realistically, basically pretty much 50k plus, between 50k and the recent all-time highs, recent all-time highs, a bit of an oxymoron there, but yeah, and the all-time highs, and then yeah, we'll just see what happens there. Do we blast through, go up to 100, 150k Bitcoin? Do we bull trap the area and come down, deep down into the, I don't know, 20k, 20ks, low 20ks, and then yeah, just have another year or so of bearish price action. So yeah, that is the game we are playing at the moment. These are the potential green shoots of recovery. So yeah, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. So yeah, that is it, guys. Remember, this is not a financial advice. No one that says fingers crossed with regards to when I say he is a financial advisor. So there we go. Thanks for listening, and I shall speak to you guys soon.